Hey ARMY around the world, welcome back to the channel. If you're watching this video, chances are you've already heard bits and pieces of the news that's been buzzing over the past few days. But trust me, what Jimin just achieved is not just any ordinary record. This is a record that no Asian solo artist has ever reached before on the world's biggest music streaming platform. Yes, you heard that right. Not just a K-pop record, not just a boy group record, but a cross-continental milestone that makes Jimin's name even harder to ignore in the global music industry. And what makes this moment even sweeter is that this achievement comes in the same year Jimin also just performed on one of the most watched stages on the planet, the halftime show of the 2026 World Cup final. So if you're curious what this record actually is, why it's being called unprecedented, and why this achievement matters so much for Jimin's solo career journey, stick around and watch this video to the end. We're breaking it all down, complete with data and context. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more BTS updates. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so the record that has ARMY worldwide buzzing right now comes from Jimin's solo track titled Who. For those who don't know, Who is the title track from Jimin's second solo mini-album called Muse, released on July 19, 2024. As of May 8, 2026, this track officially surpassed 2.4 billion streams on Spotify. Just imagine that, 2.4 billion plays. That's not a number just any song can reach, let alone a solo track, let alone one without any international collaboration. What makes this achievement so special and rightfully called unprecedented is that Who became the first solo song by an Asian artist to hit that milestone on Spotify with 0 featured artists. This point is worth emphasizing, because songs that usually break streaming records like this tend to get a boost from collaborations with Western artists who already have a massive existing fan base. But Jimin did it entirely on his own. According to a statement from Bigot Music, Jimin's agency, this achievement further cements his position as one of the most influential K-pop soloists globally. And if we look at the timeline, within 659 days of its release, Who has consistently stayed on Spotify's daily top songs global chart. Think about it. Nearly 2 years, and this song is still being streamed millions of times every single day by listeners around the world. That's not all. Who currently also sits at number 37 on the list of the most streamed songs of all time on Spotify overall. Ranked 37th out of the millions of songs ever released on Spotify since the platform began. That means Who is going head-to-head with legendary tracks from major artists spanning different genres and generations. Meanwhile, the Muse album that houses this track is equally impressive. The album has racked up more than 3.98 billion total streams on Spotify and is predicted to soon cross the 4 billion mark. If that happens, it'll be yet another extraordinary milestone for Jimin's solo album. Now, let's talk about why this record matters so much for the music industry, especially for the standing of Asian artists on the global stage. For a long time, the global music industry has still been dominated by Western artists. For Asian artists to hit streaming numbers in the billions, it usually requires a strategy involving collaborations, like teaming up with an American or European singer who already has a big name. But what Jimin did here is different. Who is a purely solo track, no featured artists, and it still managed to surpass 2.4 billion streams. This proves something important, that music from South Korea, especially solo work from a boy group member, can now stand entirely on its own in the global arena without needing a bridge in the form of collaborating with a big Western name. It's the organic fan base and the quality of the music itself that carried this track to that level. If we trace back further, this actually isn't the first time Jimin has made history like this. Back in early August 2025, Jimin was also recorded as the K-pop artist with the highest number of streams in the history of Spotify USA, with a total of 546 million streams across 34 songs, surpassing the previous record held by his own group, BTS, which had 545 million streams. At the time, Jimin officially became the South Korean singer with the most streams in the history of the US chart, whether as a group member or as a solo artist. So if we put all these achievements together, a clear pattern emerges. Jimin keeps breaking his own records, over and over, from one platform to another, from one country to another. And the peak of it all just happened with the Who milestone, hitting 2.4 billion streams without any collaboration. This moment couldn't have come at a better time, because just recently, on July 19th, 2026, Jimin along with all the BTS members performed at the halftime show of the 2026 World Cup final. This is one of the most watched stages in the world, considering World Cup finals are typically watched by billions of people across the globe. During the performance, BTS performed their hit song, Dynamite, and Jimin appeared in a costume inspired by football jerseys, numbered 7. That number carries a double meaning. It represents the jersey number of South Korean football star Son Heung-min, while also symbolizing the 7 members of BTS. Jimin's performance on that stage captured massive attention. His stable high notes, combined with sharp, energetic choreography, made many viewers who weren't even familiar with BTS curious enough to start searching for who the blonde-haired singer standing out on stage actually was. This moment also went viral because it was attended in person by several international public figures, including supermodel Giselle, who shared a video of Jimin's performance on her personal Instagram account. And the ripple effect of this grand performance didn't stop there. The stage costume Jimin wore during the halftime show was later auctioned off through the renowned auction house Christie's, as part of a charity event titled One Goal, the auction for the FIFA Global Citizen Charity Fund. The result was remarkable. Jimin's stage jersey became the most expensive item in the auction, selling for around $110,000, roughly equivalent to 1.9 billion Indonesian rupiah. All proceeds from the auction were donated to support children's education programs through the FIFA Global Citizen Education Fund. So just imagine, within a fairly short span of time, Jimin didn't just break the biggest music streaming record on Spotify, but also performed on the most watched sports stage in the world, and even had one of his personal items become the most expensive piece in an international charity auction. This is solid proof that Jimin's influence has already gone far beyond the K-pop music industry alone. Actually, if we trace Jimin's solo career journey from the beginning, this string of records didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's the result of a long, consistent journey spanning many years. Long before his comeback with Muse, Jimin's first 2 solo tracks under BTS, Live from the Wings album in 2016 and Serendipity from the Love Yourself, her album in 2017, had already made history of their own. Both songs surpassed 70 million streams on Spotify, which at the time marked the first record of its kind in 5 years for a K-pop solo song since Sice Gentleman. Both tracks even became the only solo songs by a BTS member to ever land on the UK's official chart top 20. Serendipity itself is also recorded as the first solo track by a BTS member to surpass 100 million views on YouTube. In its extended version released in 2018, Serendipity Full-Length Edition made Jimin the first K-pop solo artist to have 3 separate tracks each cross 30 million views on YouTube. Fast forward to 2023, Jimin released his first full solo album titled Face. This album made its own mark on Melon, South Korea's biggest music platform, surpassing 200 million streams, making it the only record of its kind for a K-pop solo album released within that time frame. Face even briefly made Jimin the second Asian soloist in history to top the US Billboard Hot 100, following Kyu Sakamoto of Japan's achievement back in 1963. Just imagine, nearly 60 years passed before another Asian soloist matched that feat. There's also the matter of the Billboard Japan Artist 100 chart, where Jimin once extended his record as the #1 artist on that chart with a total of 1,099 days on the list, an incredibly long stretch to maintain that kind of consistency. If we lay out all these achievements on one timeline, it becomes clear that Jimin hasn't just broken records once or twice. He keeps carving out new history, era after era, platform after platform, and now it's all peaked with the WHO achievement, 2.4 billion streams without any collaboration. Beyond the music records, there's another interesting angle worth discussing: Jimin's personal reputation in the public eye. On January 17, 2026, Jimin once again topped the brand reputation rankings in the boy group individual category for the month of January, with a positivity ratio of 91.87%. This number marks a consistent record Jimin has maintained month after month. This strong reputation is also reflected in his growing presence in international fashion. Jimin appeared at the Dior Menswear Spring-Summer 2027 show on June 24, 2026, and has even been nicknamed the sold-out king because of his massive influence on product sales. Just by casually mentioning a product, like a certain lip balm or card holder, during an interview, that product would immediately see a surge in demand in the market. All of this shows that Jimin's influence has gone far beyond just streaming numbers. He has become a global pop culture figure whose impact is felt across multiple industries, from music to fashion to lifestyle. So ARMY, if we sum up all of these achievements, there's one clear common thread. Jimin's solo career journey has never been an overnight process. From his early tracks that started breaking records back in 2016 and 2017, all the way to now with Who hitting 2.4 billion streams without any feature, all of it is the result of years of consistency. What makes this moment feel even more special is the timing. This streaming record arrived right alongside another major milestone, Jimin's grand performance at the 2026 World Cup final halftime show, watched by billions of people worldwide. The combination of these two massive moments makes Jimin's name even harder for the global music industry and international media to overlook. And interestingly, with the Muse album predicted to soon cross the 4 billion total streams mark, we're likely to see even more new records pop up in the near future. So for ARMY who are curious, this is probably not the last achievement we'll hear about from Jimin this year. Alright ARMY, that's the full breakdown of the latest record Jimin BTS just achieved. From the song, Who officially surpassing 2.4 billion streams on Spotify without any collaboration, to the massive momentum from the 2026 World Cup stage, it all points to one thing. Jimin's global influence is real, and it keeps growing bigger by the day. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, drop a comment sharing your thoughts on this achievement, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the latest updates on BTS and its members. If there's any other info or record you think should be covered, just let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. See you in the next video. Bye ARMY.